is whether all those questions which appear on the pro forma were asked by Mboto. It's a fair question.
My Lord, the only question that you can recall.
No, you are giving evidence now.
No. My Lord, my point is, my colleague is going through all the questions that
are annotated on the pro forma.
On the pro forma.
And according to the evidence which, according to him, according to this gentleman, Mr. Yes, but he says, Mboto asked those questions. So that's a fair question.
Yeah, but how can you recall if he says...
I don't know. I'm not
answers?
accused.
Yes, it's not fair to him.
No, it's fair, sir. This form was tabled in this court, and according to that form, it appears that there are questions which, according to Mboto, he traversed with the accused. The accused is correct, right, and entitled to deny all that. But Mboto, according to what this gentleman, the prosecutor, is saying, traversed those questions. Okay. So you can continue in that vein, sir. What was not traversed was the essence of the statement, because this is what we are about now. Whether that statement was actually ever made or whatever. Okay. And if it was made, whether it is admissible or not, I don't know.
So inkantolo yamvumela kumshushisi ukuthi angaqhubeka ngale mibuzo bebuza yena ke kule form lena esithi ke iyona uKenel Mboto awayesebenza ngayo ngalela langa.
Sorry, what's that form? FF, what's the
Exhibit FF, my Lord. FF.
FF, yeah. Can recall it.
What was the last question?
Have any promise or promises been made to you by any person if you should make a statement?
Ingaba sikhona yini isithembiso izithembiso ezenziwa kuwena noma ubani ke uma kungathi noma uma kungawukuthi ungenza istatement. So ngakaphendula.
My Lord, if the court may allow.
Are you acting for accused number 1 now?
No, my Lord, I'm just standing on the line of a cross-examination. My Lord, the state is referring the witness to the document. If maybe
Which document?
The document which is Exhibit FF, my Lord.
FF?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. If it can be cleared to the witness that Colonel Mboto also asked this. Colonel Mboto also asked this, my Lord.
Okay.
So that there would be no confusion from the accused.
Fine. Have you heard that, Mr.?
Thank you, my Lord.
Please. Can that be translated so that it comes from the defense counsel?
I think I've already done that. I did it. That's why I explained to him what the form is about. I think I've already done it. I'm getting a cousin looking on their form.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I did that.
Okay. So what is the response?
Kosekatolo. Umboto imbuzo engibuza yona angikhumbuli kodwa lembuzo le engibuza umshushisi ayifunda lapha phansi le aseyifundile kusuka manje kuya le phezulu akaze umbotho angibuze yona.
My Lord, the questions that were posed to me by Colonel Mboto, I cannot recall them. But the questions that have just been posed now to me by the state from the top going down, Colonel Mboto never asked me those questions.
So you do not recall what Mboto asked you as per this pro forma, or you do not recall today when I ask you?
Can I get an extra copy, please? Can I get an extra copy?
No, I just have one copy.
I'm sure the defense does have an extra copy.
What document is it?
Exhibit FF, my Lord.
Okay.
Uthi ke lemibuzo elana ebhaliwe ke kule form lena ke ekuyizibithi ke uFF ukuthi ke uKenel Mbotha akaze akubuze lemibuzo ebhaliwe khona la.
Cha, akazange ngibuze.
No, he never asked me.
So, okay, the last answer that you gave me that I want to build on is that you do not recall today if those questions were put to you on the 30th of May 2020. I want clarity there.
Engifuna ukuchazela noma ucacelwa kuona ke ukuthi ke awukhumbuli yini ukuthi lemibuzo lena wayibuzwa yini ngazo i30 zika May 2020 awukhumbuli yini?
Ngicela ukuphinde kosekatolo. Le mbuzo le umshushisi sangifundele yona ukusuka la agcine khona kuyaphezulu. Akazi umbotha ngibuza. Imibuzo engayibuza umbotho ngiyasho ngithi angisayikhumbuli kodwa mangifundela le akazange ezeyibuze.
May I explain this again, my lord, that the questions that were just posed to me by the state now, from there where the state ended going up, that those questions were never asked to me by Kenel Mboto. But the questions that were posed to me by Kenel Mboto, I cannot recall them now.
So now, very interesting, Mr. Sibia. You recall the questions that he asked you then. What are those questions? The questions that Mboto asked on the 30th of May, which are different from these ones that are in this pro forma, up until number 10.1, 10. Okay, let me start. I am saying he does not recall that Mboto asked these particular questions as per the pro forma.
Okay.
So
Now he says he never asked them.
these questions were never asked.
Yeah, that's his evidence.
Yes,
That's the questions on that form, FF, were never asked
to
by Mboto.
Yes, so I want
But
to
Mboto apparently did ask some questions, and witness Mr. Sibia says he does not remember those questions. That's his
yes,
evidence.
yes. I wanted clarity on that. Thanks, my lord. I'm in the third to this court. So the questions that were put by Mboto, you cannot recall them.
Okushoyo ukuthi imibuzo wayibuzwa ubaba uMbotho awuyikhumbuli. Imibuzo akubuza yona awuyikhumbuli.
Ngoba sengishilo ukuthi eminye imibuzo engayibuza umbotho angikhumbuli. Kodwa le eminye engikhumbula njengokuthi ngazini ngokufa kaSenzo ngiyawukhumbula lo wangibuza.
As I've already said, my lord, that some of the questions that were asked by Kenyan Mboto cannot remember them. But some of the questions, like the question, what do I know about Senzo's death, I can remember that question.
Nokuthi mangiqeda ukukhipha izandla kanje ngifayile ngisayile lama document la abona khona ukuthi ngilimele uyabuza ukuthi kade ngilimele kanje.
As well as when I was supposed to sign, and I then placed my hands in the front, and I was supposed to be, the handcuffs were supposed to be loosened. He then saw that I was injured, and then he asked, "But is it how injured you are?"
So those are the two questions that he asked.
Iyona le imibuzo emibili ayibuza.
Umbotho miningi imibuzo ayibuzayo kodwa yiyo le engikhumbulayo eminye ngiyasho ukuthi angisayikhumbuli.
There were many questions that were asked by Kenyan Mboto, but it's those two that I'm saying that I can recall. I cannot remember, recall the other questions.
Okay. I think I skipped the question. He asked then, this is what Mboto asked, according to this pro forma. Have you at any time in the past made a statement, it's not clear yet, to any person concerning this incident? That was question 7.
Oh, lana uyabuza ke ingaba kwesikhathi esindlulileke khona la khona ke wake wenza istatement khona noma kuwuphi umuntu mayelana nalesigameko lesi ukhona umuntu ngaphambilini owenza istatement kuyena mayelana nalesi sigameko lesi.
Cha, umbotho akaze ngibuze futhi umbuzo.
No, Mboto never asked me that question.
Okay. We skip 7.1. Why do you wish to repeat the statement? Was such a question ever posed to you by Mboto?
Sizomdlula ke u7.1 umbuzo olandelayo ke uthi kungani ke ufisa noma ufuna noma ufisa ukuthi ke usiphinde lesi statement lesi. Umbuzo onjalo wabuzwa uMbotho?
Cha, akaze ngibuze.
No, he never asked me.
Were you arrested? Was that question asked?
Waboshelwa kuphi noma waboshwa kuphi? Wawubuza lo mbuzo lo?
Cha, akaze ubuze.
No, he never asked it.
And in your response was that I was arrested at Tembisa while standing on the street.
Waphendula ke wathi ngaboshelwa eThembisa nkathi ngimile estradini.
Cha, akaze ngimphendule kanjalo.
No, I never answered him like that.
When were you arrested?
Waboshwa nini?
Cha, akaze ngibuze.
No, he never asked me.
And your response was that you were arrested on the 30th of May 2020 during the day and you do not remember the time.
Waphendula ke ukuthi ngo2020 kwinyanga yesihlanu ngeyi30 ngaboshwa emini angisikhumbuli isikhathi.
Cha, Nkosikatola akaze ngiphendule.
No, my lord, I never answered it.
Do you know what time you were arrested?
Uyasazi isikhathi waboshwa ngaso?
Yebo,
Yes,
What time was it?
waboshwa isikhathini.
2-1
It was before 1.
before 1.
Was that during the day?
Emini,
Emini.
during the day.
He asked, do you have any injuries? If so, how and when they were sustained?
Umbuzo olandelayo ke ngokwakubhalelana ke ulimele yini uma kuukuthi kunjalo kanjani futhi nini noma walimala kanjani when ni yes walimala nini sorry walimala nini
Nkosikatola ngicela ukuchazisa akaze ubuze lo mbuzo uthuke makumele ngisayine ukuthi kade ngilimele na mayibone izandla zami zinjani zivuza igazi zivuvukele.
My lord, let me explain. He never asked that question, but he got shocked when he saw my hands that they was bleeding and that my hands were swollen.
And in your response, yes, in both arms have marks due to handcuffs, they were very tight.
Wasuphendula ke wena ukuthi yebo ke izandla zami ke zombili ke nginama mark enginawo ngoma ukuthi ke ama ozankosi laba bebeqenyisiwe.
Cha, akaze ngimphendule kanjalo.
No, I never responded to him like that.
Nangalesikhathi ethi angisayina ngimphendulanga kanjalo.
Even at the time when he asked me to sign, I never answered him like that.
But is it not your testimony that when he saw that tight handcuffs, that's when the report followed that you were assaulted and that's how you sustained those injuries?
Bengasibona yini ubufakazi bakho ukuthi ngathi ke ebona ukuthi ama handcuffs lana aqinileke ila akhona ke asezo that's when he sorry I think
He sustained those
okay
injuries.
ila abone khona ukuthi indlela leyo owalimala ngayo.
Nkosikatola ngithe mabeqeda ukungiqhaqha ama handcuff ngemuva ngoba izandla zami zayifaselwe ngemuva. Mangibuyisa ngaphambili ilabona khona ukuthi ngilimalile.
What I said, my lord, was that after the handcuffs had been loosened at the back, because my hands were tied at the back, when I now moved my hands to the front, that's when he then saw that I was injured.
So are you telling this court that Mboto, out of his free will, he decided to answer this question in this particular fashion?
Ingabe manje wena ukutshela inkantolo ukuthi yena ke uMbotho wase eyinqumela ke noma eyikhethela ke ukuthi lo mbuzo lo akawuphendule ngalendlela ophendule ngayo khona la kule form.
Nkosikatola angeke ngikwazi ukuphendulela uMbotho. La ngizoyiphendulela imibuzo ebhekene nami.
My lord, I'm unable to answer on behalf of Colonel Mboto. I am here to answer questions that pertain to me.
And Mboto was here in this court.
Colonel Mboto bela kuyona le nkantolo.
Yeah.
Yes.
He did not challenge this statement. This particular, I'm not saying the whole document, I'm talking about 9.1. That I never told you this, you just wrote whatever that you wanted to write here.
Mayelana nalo, I think it's 9, not 9.1.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Logo,
I think that's an unfair question because in the cross-examination of Mr. Mboto, this is what was put to Mr. Mboto by Mr. Ramusipili. Mr. Ramusipili says, the accused will come and say that when you interviewed him, you did not put the questions which are in the pro forma. So this aligns with what this witness is basically saying. So to specifically come and identify certain portion in the statement and say this witness did not challenge what was said by Mr. Mboto is totally unfair.
Yes,
To
Mr.
this
Swande.
witness.
Sir, what's your response? Eh?
My lord, the witness is under cross-examination. If he so wishes, he can elect not to answer the question, and then we proceed.
No, but they say it was never framed that way by Mr. Ramusipili. The way you're putting it to this witness.
So
The
if I may understand, so are the defense saying now, this exhibit FF, it was not as a result of an interview between Sibiya and Mboto?
No, they're not saying that. They're saying the questions you ask arising from that are unfair.
Okay.
What's your view?
Well, I think it's a fair question, my lord. He can answer. He's already given answers to other questions.
Okay, rephrase that question maybe, if you still want to continue with it.
Say, I'll get back to this question, my lord. Are you now telling this court, so that we can shorten the proceedings, that whatever that I've been putting so far as the questions that Mboto put to you, it was not done on the 30th of May 2020?
Ukuthi nje sikenzeka ukuthi lokhu nje kungathatha isikhathi eside ke konke lokhu esengikubuzile ke kuwena ke manje lemibuzo engithi ke iyona imibuzo eyayibuzwa uyena uKenneth Mboto wena ke uma uphendula uthi akaze kwenzeke ngalendlela noma lemibuzo lena ayibuzwanga engikubuza yona
Kosekatola akazi izibuzo lembuze ebuzwa umshushisi njengamanje.
My lord, the questions that are being posed by the state advocate now were never asked.
So the point of departure is Exhibit FF, the document that is in front of you. It's a document that was already prepared by Mboto when he approached you.
Wena okushoyo ukuthi lamaphepha lana ke njengoba uwabona ke lana uFF lana ukuthi
That is also an unfair question. This witness responded to this very same question. He said he does not know what happened. All that he was required to do is to come sign certain documents. So he can't specifically say that this document was already prepared. He wasn't there. Whether this document was prepared or not, he wasn't there. All that he knows is they presented certain documents to him to sign.
Yes, Mr. Subhan.
The document that Mboto identified as Exhibit FF, my lord, it's completed, it's written. So
Yeah, so what's your question?
my question is that this document, Exhibit FF, was merely presented to Sibiya just to annex his signature. There was no interaction between him and Mboto.
Yeah, that question is fair.
umshushisi uthi ke akubuzayo kuwena ukuthi ke leliphepha lamaphepha lana ke uKenneth Mboto weza nawo kuwena eseqediwe kusekubhalwe yonke into wacela nje wena ukuthi usayinde kuphela.
Lesikhathi ngisayina kwakubhaliwe.
When I appended my signature, the document was completed.
So was there any stage where Mboto was writing in this particular document?
Kukhona la uKenneth Mboto yena awayebhala khona kulamaphepha la. Ngalesi ngamagama ngalesi sikhathi ekanye nawo kukhona la ayebhala khona.
Kosekatola ngicela ukubonisa ukuthi umuntu mayephethe amaphepha ebhala ekubuza imibuzo ebhala umazi ukuthi ubhala kuliphi iphepha kweningaphansi noma mase ethi nje nawo amaphepha sayina la awumazi ukuthi ebebhala kuliphi iphepha awukwazi ukumbona kodwa yena maye ngibuza imibuzo kukhona izinto ayibhala kodwa kusiyona lembuzo le elaphambi kwekatolo ayibuza kimi.
My Lord, the witness is demonstrating here, taking these two documents, that is FF as well as my notepad, that when someone is writing and someone is in possession of documents and writing, you are unable to see whether the person is writing on the top page or the bottom page. But what I can say, my Lord, as I was answering, there were instances where he was writing, but the questions that are contained in here are not the questions that he was posing to me.
Good. So you confirm that at some stage Mboto was indeed writing.
Uyavuma-ke kodwa ukuthi kukhona la ayemane ebhala khona.
Yebo wayibhala ukuthi wayibhala ini angazi.
Yes, he was writing. As to what it is that he was writing, I don't know.
And you confirm that at some stage, during that time he was writing, he was talking to you.
Uyavuma futhi ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi leso njengokuthi wayemane ebhala ukuthi wayebhala nkathi ekhuluma nawe.
Wayengibuza imibuzo ebhala kodwa ukuthi wayibhala ini angazi.
He was
Ngoba le
asking me
mbuzo le
questions.
ela, Angiyazi ngiyayiqala namhlanje.
He was asking me questions and writing. As to what it is that he was writing, I don't know. Because the questions that are contained in here, it's the first time today that I'm coming across them.
So that is the essence of an interview. There were questions, then there were answers that were written down.
Uma kukhulunywa ke ngenhlolo khona kukhulunywa ngako kona lokho ukuthi ke kunemibuzo kube futhi kube nezimpendulo.
Yebo wayengibuza wayibhala.
Yes, he was asking me and writing.
And then what I like before I leave this point is that you do not recall exactly the questions that he was putting.
Engikuthandayo ke ukuthi awuyikhumbuli imibuzo ayekubuza yona.
Yes, angikhumbula imibuzo ayengibuza yona kodwa kule usungibuze yona kwangesiyona akaze sengibuze yona.
Yes, I can't remember the questions that he asked me, but from the questions that you've already asked me or posed to me, those are not the questions that he asked me.
Say, I put it to you that this is the document that was filled by Colonel Mboto during the interview or the statement taking with yourself.
Mina ngithi ke kuwena ngiyakutshela ke ukuthi le document lena ephambi kwakho noma lamaphepha ke aphambi kwakho iwona ke lana uKenel Mboto aye wabhala nkathi waye nawe ngaleli langa.
Cha, akusiwona.
No, this is not the document.
Akusiyona imibuzo wayengibuza yona. Ukuba wayengibuza lembuzo le, ngabe mawungibuza yona ngiyakwazi ukuyikhumbula ukuthi iyo lembuzo le. Kodwa ngoba lembuzo le ongibuza yona ngiyayiqala, that's why ngithi akusiwona lamaphepha ayewagcwalisa.
These are not the questions that he asked me. If it was the questions that he asked me on the day when you asked me, I would have remembered.
But he said most of the questions you cannot remember. Now all of a sudden you can remember. What is it that you can remember?
Yini kanye lena oyikhumbulayo ngoba ushilo wathi ke eminye imibuzo ke awuyikhumbuli akubuza yona.
Kosekatolo ngiphinde ngiyachaza. Imibuzo engangibuzwa uMbotho angikhumbuli kodwa le esengitshenwe la umshushisi kule aseyifundile la akazange uMbotho azayibuza.
I repeat, my Lord, the questions that were asked to me by Kenyan Mboto, I cannot recall. But from the questions that have already been put to me by the prosecutor from this form, these questions were never asked to me by Kenyan Mboto.
So I also put it to you that this is exactly the document, same document that you signed and annexed your thumbprint on it on the date in question.
Ngiphinde ngithi ke kuwena ke ilona ke leli document owalisigna futhi wase ubeka nesithupha sakho ke kulona.
Ngokubona isignature yami yilo lele ngalisayinayo. Kodwa imibuzo yakhona angiyazi.
By seeing my signature here, yes, I do confirm that it is the one that I signed, but the questions therein, I don't know the questions, my Lord.
You already testified that you do not know what time did you return back to Valeria, correct?
Ubusushilo ke ukuthi awusikhumbuli ke noma usazi isikhathi owabuyela ngaso eValeria.
Engaya ngaseValeria ngangabuyeli ngangiqala ukuya.
Not that I was returning to, it was my first time going there.
Yes. And My lord, can I request a comfort break?
What's your time now?
Almost 25 to 1, my lord.
Yeah, 12:32.
When do we come back?
Just 10 minutes.
Okay, let's do it 15 minutes.
10 minutes. No?
Chaza kakhulu ne.
Yeah, ngishilo ngathi I can't remember, my lord, as to how long it lasted.
Can you tell the court the time you were taken to Colonel Mboto? Was it during the morning, during the day, or during the evening?
Nkathi uhanjiswa kuyena uKenel Mbotho kwakusekuseni emini noma ntambama.
Wase kusebusuku.
It was already at night.
According to the testimony of Colonel Mboto, the taking of the statement took place at Deep Roof Room 1 near the CSC. What is your comment?
Ngokubufakazi bakhe ke uKenel Mbotho ukwenzeka kwayo ke leyo interview noma ukukhulumisana kwakhe naye kwenzeke Deep Roof eduze ke ne-CSC mangikhuluma kahle la kune charge office ngakhona ni.
Landa ukuthi seduze kwana le yakhodi yathi angiyazi kodwa kusala kwakulapha eDikloof bekhona bonke angazi ngibe nayo soyithuka.
As to next to what that place is, I cannot remember, my lord, or I don't know what that is, but it was in that courtyard and all of them were there. There was never a time where I was alone with him.
And Colonel Mboto also testified before this court that he asked for the handcuffs to be loosened. He did not testify about you bleeding or seeing blood.
Okunye futhi ke akushilo kubufakazi bakho uKenel Mbotho ukuthi wacela nje ukuthi ke akukhulule ozankosi obabafakiwe akakaze asho lutho ke ngokulimala kwakho nangokubona igazi ezandleni zakho.
Koze katola ngeke ngiphendulele uMbotho kodwa mina lokho engusho la into eyenzakala kimi.
Sorry. Okay. My lord, I cannot answer on behalf of Colonel Mbotho, but what I'm testifying about here is what happened to me.
And wangibona ukuthi ngilimele ezandleni.
And he saw that I was injured on my hands.
Okay, let's proceed now. You do not recall how long you're with Colonel Mboto. My question is, will you dispute it to say that you were with Colonel Mboto for over 1 hour, 30 minutes?
Uthi ke wena uma uphendula awukhumbula ukuthi kwakuthatha isikhathi esingakanani ukukhulumisana kwakho kanye noKenel Mbotho. Uma ngithi kuwena ke kwathatha ihora elinemzuzu engamashumi amathathu ungaphikisa lokho?
Ngoba ngithi angikhumbuli nje. Angikhumbuli.
As I am saying, I cannot recall. I cannot recall.
I'm asking you this question because from the indication that you gave this court, you only asked you few questions.
Ngikubuza lokho ngoba ke kuloko wena okushilo ke lana kule nkantolo ukuthi wakubuza nje imibuzo embalwa.
Washo yena wathi ufuna ukungibuza imibuzo embalwa.
He is the one who said he would like to ask me a few questions.
So for all this time you were together with Colonel Mboto, he was asking those few questions.
Ngaso sonke lesikhathi ke wawukanye naye ke uKenel Mbotho wayekubuza lemibuzo embalwa.
Kose katolo lo mbuzo ungaphendula kuMbotho uright mawubheke kuMbotho ukuthi esikhathi nginaye wayengibuza lemibuzo embalwa noma cha.
That question, my lord, can be posed to Colonel Mbotho. He's the relevant person to be asked as to whether all this time was he asking me these few questions.
Mr. Sibiya, Colonel Mboto was here. He was asked questions by your defense counsels. It is now your turn because you were there as well.
uKenel Mbotho ebe la enkantolo wabuza imibuzo ebuzwa ummeli wakho nabanye futhi ke abameli. Manje ke ithuba lakho ke ukuthi nanje ngoba nawe wawukhona lapho uphendula imibuzo.
Kose katolo mangizela ngizophendula imibuzo ebhekene nami ukuthi kwenzakalani. So okaMbotho kumele bebuze kuMbotho kumele belinde uMbotho mhlawumbe uyobuya mabe ngamdinga.
My lord, I am here to answer questions that pertain to me, and that which relates to Mbotho should be posed to Mbotho. Maybe he would come back if needed.
According to Colonel Mboto, say you were in his office at 21:45 until 23:58.
Ngokusho kwakhe ke uKenel Mbotho wawukanye naye ke ukusuka ke ngaye u21:45 uquarter to 10 ke lo ebusuku kwaze kwashaya u23:58 kusho ukuthi imizuzu emibili ke kushaya u12 ebusuku.
uMbotho manginaye ngangingekho ngedwa nganginabanye amaphoyisa angaze ngize ngibe naye soba yi2 wayekhona lapha isikhathi angisasazi ukuthi wakubani isikhathi ngangenali iwashi ifoni yami ayithathiwe amafoni.
Was there with Mbotho as well as other police officers. There was never an occasion where I was alone with Mboto. As to the time, I don't know what time it was or how long it was. I didn't have a watch, and my phone had been confiscated.
And then you knew exactly what time you were arrested.
Isikhathi sona okushwe ngaso sona ke uyasazi noma wawusazi.
Ngiyasazi, ngangisazi isikhathi engiboshwe ngaso.
I know, and I also knew the time I was arrested.
Did you check, did you check the time when you were arrested?
Wasibheka isikhathi nkathi uboshwe.
Mischaracterization of evidence. The witness testified that he was arrested to 1. There was no exact time put to the witness.
Yeah, but the question is, did he check his watch? Is that the question, Mr. Sibande?
That is correct, Immediate.
But before that, he asked, do you know exactly when were you arrested? You can answer that. That's what I'm
Are you now representing accused number 1?
It's part of the team of accused number 1.
Yeah, but you know the law. Are you representing accused number 1, sir?
Indeed, so good.
And Mr. Ngomezulu?
He's my counsel.
So that judgment of state versus
Bason and Janki.
Bason
And Janki.
doesn't bind you.
It does bind me, my lord.
In what way?
That not to counsel may cross-examine or re-examine the same witness.
Yeah, that's all I'm
That's represented
concerned
by
about.
them.
So if you are now representing number 1, Mr. Ngomezulu is not going to lead further questions against number 1.
Let me withdraw the objection.
It's not me saying that, sir. It's
I'm well-
the law.
I'm well aware of the
Yes.
Janki's and
I never say people
Bason.
mustn't do anything without quoting the law.
Yes,
It's not me.
indeed so, man.
Yes, sir.
What was the response?
Uzulumbos,
Cela ungiphindele.
may you repeat the question?
I said, did you look at your watch when you were arrested?
Ingabe wasibheka yini isikhathi noma wasibheka yini iwashi lakho nkathi uboshwe?
Maku past 12 angikade ngifonela umakoti ekhaya, so after lapho ngadropha ifoni i-20 minutes ayindlulanga kwase kuvela amaphoyisa.
It was around 12:30 when I was making this telephone or this call home, phoning the wife of Umakoti, and it was not 20 minutes or 20 minutes hadn't lapsed or passed when the police arrived.
Okay, let us proceed now. You were taken now to Valeria police station, correct?
Wasuthathwa ke manje usiwa police station yase Valeria.
Yebo bangithatha ngise police station sevela.
That's correct.
You know what time was it?
Uyazi ukuthi kwakusikhathi sini?
Cha isikhathi angisazi.
No, I don't know the time.
Okay. Yesterday, before we posed for the day, I was about to ask you what happened on that particular day, starting from the time we booked out at Valeria SARS. Do you remember?
Izolo ke njengaphambi kokuthi siqedeke bengizokubuza ukuthi kwenzakani ke ngalesi sikhathi njengaphambi kokuthi ukhishweke noma ubhuke out ke police station yase Valeria.
Cela ungiphindele umbuzo kuze patrol.
Can you repeat the question, my lord?
I said, what happened after you were booked out of Valeria SAPS by Sergeant Mokhani at 11:30?
Ngo-11:30 emuva kokuthi usikhishiwe-ke police station yase Valeria, ukhishwa uyena-ke noma ubhukwa uyena-ke uSergeant Mokhane, kwenzekani?
Ngakusasa.
In the morning.
Mrs. Bia, the questions get translated to you. I don't know which part of the question you don't understand. Saying you were taken back to Valeria, and then the following day, which is the 31st of May, 2020, you were booked out from the cells by Sergeant Mokhane. I want that to start there.
Angiqale lana-ke because imibuzo lena-ke uyayitolikelwa-ke angazi ukuthi yiphi indawo la ungezwa khona. Angithi wahanjiswa wasiwa khona eValeria. Kwase kuthi-ke ngelanga elilandelayo ngazo i-31 wase khishwa-ke noma ubhukwa out khona lapho-ke ngo-11:30 uyena uSergeant Mokhane.
Yes. Ngishilo ngathi izinto ze-31 angisayikhumbule eningi zakhona.
Yes, I did say that many of that which happened on the 31st, I cannot remember.
And he also testified before this court that the vehicle that he got into is a Toyota Fortuner.
Ukushilo futhi nokuthi imoto wangena kuyona kwakuyi Toyota Fortuner.
Yebo ngishilo.
Yes, I did say.
So when they booked you out of the cells, where did you go?
Uma bekhipha ke emaselini waya kuphi?
Angibazi bangisa kuphi.
I don't know where.
Ngipha meseli bafaya emotweni ukuthi masiphuma lapha eVerali bangisa kuphi. Angazi.
I don't know where they took me to. They booked me out of the cells, placed me in the vehicle. As to where they went to after that, I don't know.
Amaphoyisa ayingihambisa la athanda khona wona nala futhi ukuthi eye khona wona.
The police would take me where they wanted to, or where they'd like to take me to, and where they would wish to take me to.
Were you inside this particular vehicle all the time?
Ngaso sonke isikhathi wawuphakathi kuleyo moto leyo.
Mabe ngithathile police station ngangihlala phakathi kuleyo moto leyo ngasuke behamba ngayo.
If I was taken or I would be taken at the police station, I would then be inside that particular vehicle that they would, I would be traveling in.
So you do not know the places that they took you to?
Indawo lezi abakuthatha bakusa kuzona awuzazi.
Angikhumbule indawo zakhona.
I don't remember the places.
And then when did you return back to Valeria police station?
Na senibuyela nini ke khona police station yaseValeria?
Angazi isikhathi ngangenaso.
I don't know, I didn't have time.
Was it still on the same day?
Kwakuse ngalelo langa lelo.
Kwakusebusuku isikhathi ukuthi kwakubani angazi.
It was at night. As to what time it was, I don't know.
Do you remember passing at Tembisa police station?
Ngabe uyakhumbula yini nindlula police station yaseThembisa?
Angisakhumbuli my lord.
I can't remember, my lord.
And then the following day on the 1st, we'll get back to the 21st. Did you appear at Tembisa Magistrate Court?
Sizobuyela kuzona ke i31 manje ngeyi1 ke ngabe wayobingelela imantshi yini enkantolo yaseThembisa?
Yebo ngayo kobingelela imantshi.
Yes, I did, man.
Are you disputing the fact that on the early hours of the 1st of June 2020, you were at Tembisa wherein you were charged with the offense of being in possession of ammunition?
Ingaba uyakuphikisa yini ukuthi ke entathakusa yangeyi1 zika June wawusethembisa police station lapho owawuthweswa khona amacala okutholakala nenhlamvu?
Angaze ngiyethembisa police station.
I never went to Tembisa police station.
So now you remember not being there.
I police station ngikhumbula ukuthi ngathi sangena kuyo iThembisa South. Tembisa police station.
The police station that I remember where we went into was Tembisa South and not Tembisa police station.
So you were at Tembisa South?
Usho ukuthi nani noma wawuseThembisa South?
Ngoba sengikhumbuzile sengiyakhumbula ukuthi ngathi sangena eThembisa South.
Now that you've reminded me, now I can recall that I think we went into Tembisa South.
Thank you. And then who was present there with you?
Bani owayekhona noma ababe khona nawe lapho?
Angisawakhumbula kamaphoyisa khona kodwa uMhane wayekhona.
I can't remember all the police officers, but Mukhane was there.
Okay, let us proceed. Now let us go back on the 31st. According to the evidence of Mr. Dupree, the AVL aspect, he testified before this court that on that day, you were taken to Dobsonville as well as Palm Ridge.
Ngokubufakazi bakhe ke umnumzana uDupree okuyena ke ungoti weAVL uthi ke ngaleli langa ke langa i31 ngoba uthe sibuyela ke kona ke i31 ukuthi wasiwa ke wahanjiswa seDobsonville kanye nasePalm Ridge.
Kosekatolo ngoba ngithe angikhumbuli mina angikhumbuli.
My lord, because I said I can't recall, I can't recall.
Do you dispute being taken there or just that you do not recall?
Ingabe yakuphikisa yini ukuthi waya khona lapho noma ukuthi awukhumbuli?
Ayi angikhumbuli my lord.
I can't remember, my lord.
And then according to the evidence of now Sergeant Mahula, you were taken to that particular place to go and point out a sangoma.
Ngokubufakazi bakhe ke umukhula injongo noma inhloso yokuthi ke usiwe khona lapho kwakuwukuthi wena ke wawuyobakhombisa isangoma.
Angiyazi injongo yabo angazange ngize ngibe nenjongo yokukhombisa ngoma.
I don't-
Angazi ngikhombisa ngoma.
Okay. I don't know what their purpose was, but I've never went to point out a sangoma, and I've never pointed out a sangoma.
And at some stage, you went to another sangoma called Mr. Magwaza at Dobsonville.
Kunenkathi la khona ke kwayiwa futhi kwesinye isangoma eDobsonville uMagwaza.
Umagwazi waseDobsonville ngiyamazi mara ngimazi njengesangoma.
I know Magwaza from Dobsonville, but I do not know him as a sangoma.
And then a question was posed by Advocate Mngomezulu on your behalf that is your sangoma or inyanga.
Kunombuzo ke obuziwe ke ubuzwa kuthiwa lo mbuzo ubuzelwa yena ke noma ubuzwa egameni lakhe uSibiya ukuthi yebo impela uMagwaza lowo iyona inyanga yakhe noma ke isangoma sakhe uSibiya.
Angimazi njengesangoma.
I don't know him.
Umagwaza akasisi isangoma.
I don't know him to be or as a sangoma. Magwaza is not a sangoma.
Where does he reside?
Uhlala kuphi?
Uhlala eSoweto.
He resides in Soweto.
Were you taken there on the 31st?
Ngazo
Where did you
i31
sign?
wasiwa kuyena.
Mawungikhumbuza ngiyakhumbula ukuthi ngathi saya kuye.
If you remind me, I think I do remember that we did go to him.
Okay. Now we're getting somewhere.
Khona ke manje la ngathi siyakhona.
And then from seeing Magwaza, you do not recall going to Palm Ridge.
Emuva kokuthi okasenimbonileke uMagwaza awukhumbuli yini niya ePalm Ridge?
iPalm Ridge ivela ngiyazi.
I'm not familiar
ukuthi
with
imoto
Palm Ridge.
sayihamba ifike kuphi anginalo ulwazi lwazo.
I'm not familiar with Palm Ridge. As to where the cars went to or drove to, I have no knowledge.
And then from Palm Ridge, you then headed to Araten.
Masensuka khona ke ePalm Ridge nase niya eEratin.
iAratin angiyazi.
I'm not familiar with Eratin.
Araten is the offices of Brigadier Gininda and the team.
Ilapho ke amahhovisi akhe ke uBrigadier Gininda kanye neqembu ke nama ithimba ke akhona.
Angiyazi.
I don't know about.
So you do not recall going there on that particular day.
Awukhumbuli niya lapho ngalelo langa lelo.
Ngoba bengishilo ukuthi indawo ezahanjwa amaphoyisa oyinhloso yazo mina angizazi angikhumbuli.
As I've already stated that the places that were visited by the police, it was their purpose or their intentions. I don't recall them.
According to the testimony of Mahola and Mokhane, you were taken to that particular office where you got into the office.
Ngokubufakazi bakhe ke umukhula kanye naye umukhane wahamba ke noma nahamba ke nayo khona lapho la owangena khona ke kulelo office lelo.
Ayi mina angikhumbuli ukuthi laba bengifaka khona kwakusuke kukuphi la laba ngifaka khona kusuke kukuphi la laba ngifaka khona kusuke kukuphi la cause indawo ebengihambisa zona akuzindawo engazazi vele ezinye.
I personally do not recall as to the places where they were taking me into as to where that was or what place would that be, because I wasn't familiar with the places that they were taking me to.
And then they further testify that from that particular office of the South African Police Services, you were then taken to Tembisa South, as you put it.
Bathi ke ukusuka khona lapho ke kulawo mahhovisi lawo ila naya khona ke manje eThembisa South nanjengoba usho wena.
Ngoba ngithi Thembisa South ngiyayikhumbula sifika kuyo befike bengena khona epolice station. So ukuthi sasikade sisuka kuphi angazi.
As I've already indicated that I do recall Tembisa South that we went into the police station, but as to where we were coming from before going there, I don't know.
It is quite strange, say, that You were quite sure when you were taken to Deep Kloof in Soweto as well. But now you are being taken to another place, you do not know where that place is.
Yasike nkathi ke usiwa khona ke eDeep Kloof eSoweto la wawunesiqiniseko noma ubunesiqiniseko khona kodwa manje ukuthi yiphi enye indawo owaya kuyona ke lapho nje unokungabaza awunasiqiniseko ngalokho.
eDikloof ibhaliwe Dikloof police station ngoba neThembisa South ngayibona Thembisa South police station yakho.
In Deep Kloof it is written there that it is Deep Kloof police station as well as Thembisa South. It is also, you can see that it is Thembisa South.
Thank you. Let us proceed. Who was present other than Mohula, Mohane, when you were taken to Tembisa South?
Ubani noma ubani ababe khona ngaphandle komukhula nomukhane nkathi uhanjiswa uya eThembisa South.
Kwangamaphoyisa MPD.
The MPD police officers.
Were you assaulted on that particular day?
Galelo langa lelo washaywa?
Cha.
No.
Were you threatened in any way?
Khona nje indlela owasatshiswa ngayo?
Ukusatshisa amaphoyisa.
By the police?
Yes.
Yebo.
Vele ngangithukile from the first day ngiqala ukuboshwa.
Yes,
Vele
indeed.
amaphoyisa ngawesaba ngaleso sikhathi leso up until.
Yes, I was scared or I was in shock from the first day of my arrest. So from that time, I was scared of the police.
Okay. You also testify in this court that there's a certain man who came, a police officer, you put it into context, that came to you and asked you about the assault at Valeria police station.
Ushilo kubufakazi bakho ukuthi likhona leli phoyisa elithize nje eleza kuwena ke lazokubuza ngokushaywa kwakho epolice station yaseValeria.
Yebo ngishilo.
Yes, I did say so.
When was that?
Kwakunini?
Angisakhumbula isikhathi kwakuyiluphi usuku because insuku bengayikhumbuli ukuthi sokwenzakala ukuthi sokwenzakala ukuthi ezinye.
I don't remember the day as to when it happened because as far as days are concerned, I'm unable to recall that on this day this happened and on a particular day this is what happened.
So you cannot even recall that said police officer, his surname at least?
Nesibongo sakhe salo lelo phoyisa awusikhumbuli.
Alikaze lisisho vele.
It never mentioned the surname.
Was he on uniform?
Wayegqoke i-uniform?
Wayegqoke uniform.
Yes.
Is the name not written on a badge on his chest?
La esifubeni kuyena ke igama alibhaliwe.
Cha, lalinga.
No.
Ngoba namanye amaphoyisa la njengawabhalile amagama awo.
Yes, there was no name. As in this case here in court as well, there are certain police officers whose name are not written.
Member of the South African police, on their uniform is not written.
Ilunga lelo lesiphoyisa igama lalo alibhaliwe la esifubeni.
Ngithi wayegqoke uniform igama lakhe la lingabhaliwe.
I'm saying he was wearing uniform but his name was not written.
That interaction that you had with the said police officer, did you put it to at least to Mahula when she was on the witness stand? That at some stage you did make a report of assault to a certain police officer who did nothing about it.
Ngathi umukhula elana ke manje enkantolo enikeza ngobufakazi bakhe ingaba kwashiwo yini lokho nowakusho yini wena lokho kumukhula ukuthi ke kunephoyisa elithize noma phoyisa thizeni engenza umbiko ke kulona ke ngokushaywa azange wenze lutho.
Cha, akaze ngilisho ngangazi ukuthi mina ngizoza la eboxini ifike ngichaze yonke into ayenzeka kimi.
No, I never mentioned it or said it. I knew that my time will come for me to take the witness stand and say everything that happened to me.
Did you convey that instruction to your advocate?
Ingaba lokho wakusho yini kummeli wakho?
Ngamxoxela ezinye izinto amxoxelanga konke okwakwenzeka ngoba ngengixoxe yonke into kade mina ngisazofika ebhokisini ngizokhuluma ukuthi kwenzakalani kimi.
I mentioned some of the things, but I didn't mention everything because I cannot say everything, knowing very well that my time will come for me to come and testify about everything that happened to me.
Ngangazi ukuthi isikhathi sokuthi mina ngize ebhokisini ngizokhuluma yokutenzakalayo sizofika ngoba sesifikile nje manje ngikhuluma yokutenzakalayo.
I knew that the time would come for me to come and testify about everything that happened to me as it has now happened.
Say, I put it to you that had that version placed before court, then Mokula will have commented regarding that report.
Ngithi mina ke kuwena ke uma kuwukuthi lokho kwakushiwo kuyena ke umkhula nkathi elana lokho bekuzonikeza ke umkhula ithuba ke lokuthi ke aphendule kuloko mayelana nokwenzeka.
Nkosikatolo laba bantu bathi ngeke beze bebathathele izinqumo ngeke beze bekwazi ukugcila kulaba abantu ngoba bakhulu kunabo obvious nabo babatshenanga umuntu owayazi le nto leya wakuba yimi.
My Lord, as they had said or indicated that there was no way that they would have taken decisions against those people because those people were much senior to them. Someone who knew about that was myself, or the one who knew about it was myself.
And when you say these people are much senior, are you referring to Gininda, Sergeant Mokula, Sergeant Mohane?
Uma uthi ke laba bathi labantu bakhulu kubona kusho umkhula umkhane nogininda.
Aba bafike lapha ephepheni babheka lela phepha leli abathi balibheka lapha bathola ukuthi I national court case banibani. So bathi laba bantu laba bangaphezulu kwabo abakwazi ukubathathela ukubathathela ukuthi bengaba landelela ukuthi why beshaya umuntu.
My Lord, they went, looked on the document there, and then found out that it was a national court case, something or what, and then said that those people with regards to rank, positions are higher than them, so there is no way that they can make a follow-up on them as to, with regards to having assaulted a person.
And then in Exhibit NN, when a self-visit was done, there were no complaints that were noted.
Manje ke kunezibiti lana eliwu NN la ebhaliwe khona ke ukuthi inkathi kuyiwa ke kuona amasel akukho isikhalo esatholakala.
Akekho owangibuza ngesikhalo mangena lapha ngithi ngasale emontweni bafike bangena bona baphinde babuya beza kimi emontweni mabeqedwe ukuze kimi emontweni bangithatha bangifaka bona emaselini ngaphakathi bafike bavula iseli bangifaka bavala.
No one, as I said, my Lord, that upon arrival there, I was left in the vehicle, they went inside, they came back, took me from the vehicle, and they themselves placed me inside the cell and locked again.
According to the evidence of Colonel Swanepoel, the police at the cells do an hourly cell visit.
Kuno baba ke obelana ke kuleli viki elidlule abathi ke uKolonel Swanepoel oshilo ke kubufakazi bakhe ukuthi ihora nehora kuyahanjwa kuyobhekwa emaselini benza ke into abayibiza ngokuthi ke ama cell visit.
uSwanepoel mayefika wathi usebenzele iSilverton hayi eVeralini.
When Colonel Swanepoel arrived or was here, he said that he was working in Silverton, not Valeria.
He indicated before this court, or he testified before this court, that that is a standard practice in all police stations in South Africa.
Akushilo ke nkathi efika lana ukuthi lokho noma wena ungathi ke yebo usebenza eSilverton akasebenza eValeria kodwa uma echaza yena uthe indlela ke eyokwenza izinto ke leyo kuwo onke ama police station ala eNingizimu Afrika.
Akufani.
It's not the same.
eVeralini mangifika ngahlala ngiyi1 eselini abantu behlala ngomnini eSilverton mabe ngifikisa khona ebusuku bathi bafuna ukuthi ngihlale ngiyi1 eSilverton babatshela la umuntu akahlale eyi1 abantu bahlala nga3 kuyaphezulu.
In Valeria, when I got there, I was placed alone when other people were in their numbers. In Silverton, when I got there, arrived there at night, they wanted to place me alone, but they were told that here we don't keep one person in a cell, they stay in numbers.
Okusho ukuthi umsebenzi
So
wama-police
it specifically said from 3 upwards. Yebo.
okukhomba ukuthi umthetho wama-police station awufani. Indlela abenza ngayo shuthi ayifani.
That then indicates that how the police work or do their work is not the same.
Say, this is in relation to cell visits. I'm not talking about how many people must be detained in one cell. I'm talking about hourly cell visits.
Lana ke mfethu angikhulumi ke ngokuthi ke kufanele kugcina abantu abangaphi emaseleni, ngikhuluma lana ngento eshiwo uKenneth Swanepoel ethi ihora nehora kuyahanjwa kuyobhekwa emaseleni kuvisit. Angikhulumi ngokuthi kuhlala abantu abangaka emaseleni, ngikhuluma ngokuthi uSwanepoel uthe kuyabhekwa njalo ngehora, kundlula ihora kuhanjwe kuyobhekwa amaseli, kundlula ihora kuhanjwe kuyobhekwa amaseli abayibiza ngokuthi ama-cell visits, hayi ukuthi kuhlala abantu abangaki.
Cha, akwenzeki kulama police station ngihlale kuwo akaze kuze kwenzeke lokho.
No, it doesn't happen. The police stations where I was, it never happened.
How many police stations?
Ama-police station amangaki?
Mangiboshwa nge-30 ngiye ngalethwa eVerali.
When I was arrested on the 30th, I was at Valeria.
Mangiphuma nge-10 bengiphumela sengise Silverton.
And then when I was released on the 10th, I was in Silverton,
Ama police station ayi2.
2 police stations.
Okay. That disparity or that difference in doing things in police stations, was it put to Colonel Swanepoel?
Lo mehluko leyo ukuthi ke ama-police station wasebenzi ngokufanayo. Kathi uSwanepoel ela noma uKenneth Swanepoel ela kwashiwo kuyena ukuthi Kenneth Swanepoel ama-police station wasebenzi ngokufana.
Nkosi Katolo angiphenduleli Swanepoel la ngizobeka into eyenzeka kimi.
My Lord, I'm not answering on behalf of Swanepoel. I am here to state that which happened to me.
Thank you. So are you saying to this court, when the police officers made an entry that all in order or no complaint, they were just trying to cover something?
Ingabe uthi ke uma amaphoyisa ebhalile lapha ukuthi konke nje kukahle kungendlela ukuthi babenza nje babebhala nje.
Angeze bakhulumele kodwa mina akekho akwangibuza ukuthi nginjani. Mangifika epolice station buza ukuthi ngiright or kwenzakaleni ngishayo noma ngishawanga. Mangena lapha akekho angibuza lonto leyo. Because abantu babengithatha bakungamaphoyisa la ngisuke kade ngihamba nawo kube yiwa yongifaka emaselini.
I cannot speak on their behalf because at the police stations, no one asked me as to how I was I assaulted, am I well? Because the people that would be taking me were the very same people that I was traveling with.
So those people that you were traveling with, were they also keeping the key to the cell?
Labantu laba owahamba nabo uthi kwakuba yibona babekuthatha beyokufaka beyokuvalela. Ikhiya zayihlala kubona.
Angazi kodwa ngibona sebeyiphethe bona.
I don't know, but I would see them in possession of the keys.
Who specifically?
Sikhuluma ngobani?
uMabhena,
Mabhena,
uMhani,
Muhane.
yiba abantu babehlale ngokungivalela isikhathi esiningi.
They are the people that most of the time would be locking me up.
Even though they are not based at Valeria police station, they had the keys to the cells of Valeria.
No manje bengasebenzi police station yaseValeria kodwa ikhiya zaseValeria ayiphathwa ibona.
Bangamaphoyisa ngangeke ngikwazi ukubuza ukuthi why niphethe ukhiye kodwa yiba bayiphathe ukhiye bongivulela lapha ya.
They are police officers.
Baphinde bengivalele.
Then I wouldn't ask them or inquire from them why are you in possession of the keys, but they would open there and place me inside.
Mohane was here for almost a week or over a week. He was never told that he had the keys to the Valeria police station cells.
Umkhane bela iviki noma ngaphezulu kweviki kodwa akaze kushiwa lokho kuyena ukuthi wena wawuphatha ikhiya zaseValeria.
Nkosi Katolo ngangazi ukuthi sizofika isikhathi sokuthi mina ngize ebhokisini ngizoyikhulumela ngeke ngikhulumele uMhani.
I knew that my time would come to come and testify. I wouldn't speak on behalf of Mohane.
Say, I put it to you that you are fabricating a story. You're tailoring evidence as we go along.
Ngithi kwenaka ukuthi nje into engekho le into yakhayo wena into engekho le uyikhulumayo.
kwesekatolo le ngishoyo into yayenzeka kimi into ekhona.
My Lord, that which I'm saying is something that happened to me.
And then what he's trying to say is that police have to bend the procedures when it comes to Moses Biya.
Akushoyo futhi wena ukuthi nje amaphoyisa nje wona uma kufika nje kumuzi sibiya ukuthi babephula umthetho.
Umthetho babewuphula makuyikuthi awubavumeli ukuthi benze lento ababeyenza. Mina ngangingawazi umthetho vele ukuthi uhamba kanjani.
They would bend the laws if it was that it doesn't allow them to do what they wanted to do. I didn't know what the law said or what was required.
And they break the law to Moses Biya, who has a selective memory.
Futhi ke umthetho bawuphula ke kumuzi sibiya ongakhumbuli konke. Khona khumbulayo khona ngakhumbuli.
Makuyikuthi bephula umthetho babewuphula and ukukhumbula ngumuntu wasemhlabeni ngidaliwe ngazalwa ngiyakhohlwa ngiyakhumbula njengomuntu wonke.
If they had to, if they had to break the law, then they would do it. I am a human being, born just like anyone else. I am on this earth or universe. I forget, and I can also remember.
So whatever that you forgot as Moses Biya is not a suggestion that it did not happen, just that you forgot.
Uko konke okukhohliwe noma okukhohlwayo wena asikuthi akuzange kwenze noma kaze kwenzeke ukuthi nje kuphela awukhumbuli wena. Hayi ukuthi akaze kwenzeke ukuthi nje wena ungakukhumbuli.
Mangithi into angikhumbuli ngisuke ngenayo answer ukuthi ngizokuphendula ngithini lo mbuzo lo endlela angibuza ngayo my lord.
When I say I can't remember a thing, it's only to say that I do not have an answer as to say how am I going to answer that particular question which is being posed to me.
Kodwa mawungibuza ukuthi ungikhumbuze ukuthi nokuthi kwenzakala kanjani ngizokutshela ngithi lokhu akwenzakalanga kanje. Lokhu azange kuze kwenzeke.
But if you do remind me and give me and say this is what happened or how it happened, I would then say this didn't happen or this is how it happened.
Now let us make progress. Let's proceed now. Let's fast forward to 5 June 2020.
Asiye manje ke ku5 June 2020.
Yebo.
That is the day you were taken to Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Ilanga ke lelo owathathwa ngalo ke wasuka kuyena Lieutenant Colonel Hadebe.
Yabo amaphoyisa ngithatha angisa eForce angisuse eForce angisa eAlbertine kumuntu engamfica lapha wagcina ethi uHadebe.
Yes, the police took me to Vosloorus, from Vosloorus then taken to Albertine, to a person that I found there and eventually said that he was Hadebe.
Okay. Who booked you out?
Ubani owakhipha emaseleni?
Umhana.
Muhane.
And then you were in which company?
Wayehamba nobani?
Wayehamba nalo colonel lo ngithi angimkhumbule ukuthi ucolonel bani isibongo sakhe.
The unknown colonel, the one which I say I can't remember his surname.
Nongamane.
Ngamane.
Nomabhena.
And Mabhena.
What were they traveling on?
Babehamba ngani?
Angisayikhumbuli imoto ababehamba ngayo.
I can't remember the vehicle that they were traveling in.
Was it not the Toyota Fortuner?
Bangasiyona Toyota Fortuner.
Isikhathi esiphambili bengicabanga ukuthi vele kwakuyiyo ngoba imoto abesebenzisa mare makufika iAVL ithi akusiyona mhlawumbe akusiyona namanje bengicabanga ukuthi yiyo.
Before I thought that it was the Toyota Fortuner, but when the AVL came and confirmed that it was not it, then it means it wasn't it. Even now I thought that it was the Fortuner.
Okay. And then at Vosloorus, what happened?
Kwenzekani eFosloorus?
Mangifike eFosloorus baye bangishaya bathi angiyokhomba la kwafela khona uSenzo. Ngabatshela ukuthi mina ngazi la kwafela khona uSenzo.
Upon arrival at Vosloorus, they assaulted me and said that I should go and point out where Senzo died. I then said to them, I don't know where Senzo died.
Who assaulted you?
Ushaya ubani?
Kwase kukhona ama-traffic copper masifika le abobuthelezi.
There were traffic officers when we arrived there, the likes of Buthelezi, yebo.
Nobomabhena.
The likes of Mabhena.
And then who else?
Mabani futhi?
nabo Ncamane.
the likes of Ngamani.
Lo Kenel akazeze ngishaya nomhala zange ngishaya.
This particular Kenel never assaulted me. Mukhane also never assaulted me.
And then you're saying Buthelezi. Who else?
Uthelezi nabani?
Tillis nabo Mnaring babe khona ngobuningi babo nje lama.
They were there in their majority. Buthelezi, Munareng,
Okay lama traffic engiwabalila ekhona.
all these traffic officers that I've mentioned, they were there.
And was this on? You said when they assaulted you, they wanted you to point out where Senzo was killed.
Uthi mabekushaya ke bakushaya bethi hamba ubakhombisa la uSenzo ashonela khona.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then after that assault, what happened?
Emuva kokuthi ushayiweke kwase kwenzekani?
Emva kwalapho bangithatha bangifaka emotweni ngabona sesingena indawo eAlbertine. La ndawo ipolice station mara ayikhandwa ngalesa sikhathi.
I was then placed into the vehicle. We then drove and then we entered this police station, Albertine. But at that particular time, the place was still under renovations.
Was it also written Albertine police station?
Nalapho ke kwabhalwe Albertine police station.
Wabhalwa Albertine police station.
It was written Albertine police station.
Then let us go back to First Lawrence. Can you describe the nature of the assault that was meted out there?
Asibuyele ke manje police station eFosloras ke ungasho ukuthi indlela owashaywa ngayo khona lapho?
Yeah.
Yes,
Proceed.
qhubeka.
Ukungifaka iplastiki
It's true.
bengikhahlela abanye.
So placed plastic over me and the others were kicking me.
How long did the assault last?
Kwathatha isikhathi esingakanani lokho?
Angikhumbuli ngangenalo iwasha.
I can't remember, I did not have time on me.
Will you say 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Ungathi imizuzu emihlanu, eyishumi,
Kungaphezulu kwalokho.
more than that.
More than 10 minutes?
Ngaphezu kwemizuzu eyishumi.
Yayimningi eyishumi imncane.
10 can just be a minimum. It was
30
more
minutes?
than that. 30.
Ngoba ngithi angikhumbuli konsekatola ngikhumbula kwaba isikhathi esingakanani.
As I'm saying, my Lord, I cannot remember, so I can't recall as to what time it took.
Where were they kicking you in your body?
La kuwena ke emzimbeni babekukhahlela kuphi nendawo?
From there suka la kuya lezansi.
The witness is indicating, my Lord, using my body. That is
Zala
now,
zami
I'm just
zayifase
standing
kanje.
in. My hands were tied like this at the back. It was pointing to the upper part of the body.
Yahamba yonke nje le ndawo le.
Says together with the, including the arms.
I don't understand.
He indicated, my Lord, he used my body and said from this part, my
Which
Lord.
part was he using?
He pointed, yeah.
Oh.
And then he said,
On the
including
ribs,
arms.
on the ribs.
On the ribs. Also including the arms.
The ribs and
Because
the arm.
He said the arms were tied at the back like this.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nje nale yayikhahleleka.
Yeah.
Nale
He's
ndawo.
also using the upper part of the arm, my Lord, and said this part was also being kicked, referring to the left upper part of the arm.
Were they kicking you on both sides, on the right and the left?
Ngaba bekukhahlela uhlangothi olulodwa noma ke inhlangothi zonke,
Babe ngikhahlela umzimba wonke.
the entire body.
Were they hitting you hard?
Ngaba bekushaya kakhulu.
Kusekatho ukushaya kakhulu amagadla abantu noma ama-weight abantu awafani. Ngeke ngize ngithi kakhulu because ama-weight abangwazi mangakanani. Ngeke ngize ngithi kancane because ama-weight abangwazi mangakanani. Kodwa ubuhlungu babuzwela kimi.
I cannot attach weight to that, my Lord, because the manner in which people hit you, it won't be the same, as well as people's weights are not the same. But I could feel the pain.
So were they hitting you repeatedly?
Ngama babekwenza lokho bebuyelela noma bephinda nje ukushaya.
Babekwenza bephindaphinda.
Repeatedly, yes.
Did you sustain any injuries?
Kwaba khona ukulimala okutholayo?
Yebo kwaba khona.
Yes, I did.
Where in your body?
Kuphi nendawo emzimbeni?
Emzimba wonke wawubuhlungu.
The whole body was aching, my Lord.
Any bruises?
Kwayikhona imihuzuko eyayikhona.
Amaphoyisa mayekushaya wakushaya kube nomhuzuko.
When police
Akushayela ukuthi ingabonakali vele.
When police assault you, They do not assault you so that there are bruises or visible bruises. They assault you so that those bruises are not to be seen.
So are you suggesting to this court that if I kick you the manner in which they kick, then there won't be any bruises?
Ingabuthi uma mina ngingakhahlela manje ngendlela abakhahlela ngayo angeke imihuzuko ibe khona.
ngoba inkosikazi la ingekho mabe ngikhahlela mina mangakhahlela umuntu alendlela bengikhahlela ngayo mhlawumbe engabona ukuthi imhuzuko ayikho kodwa lo muntu ipheni uyizwini.
Because you were not there when they kicked me, but if I were to kick someone in the very same fashion or manner in which they kicked me, you would see that there won't be any bruises, but that particular person would feel the pain.
Any swelling?
Ukuvuvuka kona?
Kwangabonakala.
It was not visible.
So Mukhane, Mabena, Ngamani, and the SWAT guys, I'm correct, say the SWAT guys.
Umukhanya, umabhena, ungamane, kanye futhi nalaba ke babizwa ngokuthi ke amaphoyisa la beSWAT.
Yeah.
Yes.
No other police officers.
Engekho amanye amaphoyisa.
Lapha ya kwakukhona ama traffic cop amangishawa masifika eAlbertine kwase kukhona nama barret.
There were traffic officers when I was being assaulted, but when we now arrived at Albertine, then there were these beret unit.
Did they partake in the assault as well?
The witness but said it very so he said the TRT, but he didn't speak out loud. He says the TRT. TRT, my lord.
TRT.
Did they partake in assault?
Nabo ke babe yingxenye yokushaya.
Babe ingcenye ukungithusela.
They took part in scaring me.
How?
Kanjani?
Ukuba namaphoyisa azidlova noma angathi amabhubesi maye nawe ayengithusela kakhulu.
To be in the company of police officers who would resemble or who are like lions when they are with you, that on its own was scary to me.
How so? Describe it, say.
Awusichazele kanjani?
Mawuboshwa amaphoyisa uyiwane onke lingekho elizwelana nawe noma elifisa ukusiza wena okamaphoyisa kusuke kufana nokuthi azilwane kuwe.
When you're being arrested by police officers and there's not even a single police officer who empathizes with you or who feels or who would like to assist you, then they would all appear like animals, or they would all appear like monsters to you.
Okay, interesting now. On the 23rd of October 2023, this is what Mgomezulu has to say. To Fosloras, he was subjected to torture and assault by the TRT police, who then took him to Albertine. After that, he was, according to his instruction, he was instructed to point out the place where the incident took place.
Lana ke ukufundela ke ukuthi okwenzeka ke lana idate kwakunge 23 zika October 2023. Lana ke uMr Mgomezulu ke uma esho ke usho kufakazi ke eFosloras la khona ke aye eshaywa ke noma ke ethosharwa eshaywa amalunga eTRT ase emthatha ke emhambisa emsa eAlbertine. Emuva kwalokho ke ngokusho kwakhe wase etshelwa ke ukuthi ayokhomba indawo la isigameko senzeka khona.
Angeke ngikhulumele uMgomezulu ukuthi wathini. Mina engusho lapha ngokatolo ngithi mina ama traffic copper yiwo angishaye Fosloras masifika eAlbertine kwase kukhona nama TRT.
I cannot speak on behalf of Mr. Mgomezulu. What I'm saying is that when I was arrested in Fosloras, traffic officers were there, and when we arrived in Albertine, there were now the TRT police officers.
Say, it is the other way around. Gomezulu is speaking on your behalf, not you.
Lana wena uthi ne angeke ukhulumele uMr Mngomezulu. Kodwa ke akukho ngaleyo ndlela. Uma ngabe uMr Mngomezulu ekhuluma esho into kufakazi, usube ekhuluma into athi ibuya kuwena, wena omlayela ukuthi akasho lokhu kufakazi. Akusuka ukuthi wena ukhulumela yena, kodwa yena ukhulumela wena.
Umngomezulu mayesuka kimi ngimtshena into uma eyibeka mhlawumbe thothakezwanga kahle ngeke ngize ngithi mina uMngomezulu angimtshenanga kanjalo. Umngomezulu mayengezwanga ngeze ngimkhulumele uMngomezulu ongayikhulumela ukuthi kwaba kanjani ukuze ibeke so. Kodwa mina ngithi manje la eKosekatolo mina ama traffic copper angishaya eFosorus angithatha ngise Albertine afike Albertine kwase kukhona nama TRT.
I cannot speak on behalf of Mr. Mngomezulu. Mr. Mngomezulu would be the one who would then come and explain or answer as to how it is or why it is that he put it like that. I am saying that in Phosphorus, when I was arrested, the traffic officers were there, and then when I was taken to Albertine, the TRT police officers were also there, were now there.
Okay. Are you done?
Okay.
Ngilindele umbuzo.
I'm waiting for the question.
Okay. I like your anticipation. Ngomezulu is the one who invited you there, and he asked you now to speak right where you're standing. He's no longer asking the state witnesses questions. You are there now to explain why did you not inform the court that this is what happened on the 5th of June 2020.
Lana ke okwenzekayo ngizothi ke uMr Mngomezulu kodwa thina nobabili ngithi Mngomezulu mina ke ngizothi uba uMr Mngomezulu okwenzekile ukuthi uyena ke okubize ukuthi uzoma la uzochaza ke uzosho ke lokho okwenzeka uyena umuntu okubizele khona kule ndawo omekiyo nami njengamanje.
Mangizela ngizochazela iKatolo ukuthi kwenzakalani ngele usuku mangiboshwa up until
I am here to inform the court or to tell the court as to what happened from the day I was arrested up until.
Yes, and then you were asked to tell us what happened on that day.
Yebo wasuyacelwa ukuthi usitshele ukuthi kwenzekani ngalelo langa lelo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you did not tell this court.
Sorry.
You did not inform this court about the presence of the TRTs at Albertine.
Uma usutshela noma usuchaza ke lokho kwenzeka awuyitshelanga lenkantolo ngokuba khona ke kwama TRT noma amaphoyisa la eTRT.
iKatolo ngitshenile ukuthi mina ngashawa amaphoyisa kodwa noma ngingashonga ukuthi uhlobo lwamaphoyisa ngingawadifaranga ama TRT nama traffic cop akusengamaphoyisa onke.
I did inform the court that I was assaulted by the police officers, although I did not differentiate or specify as to which police officers. TRT and traffic officers, they are all police.
Mr. Sibia, that's a good one. You whispered to Mr. Jonasi there, towards the end of your answer, to say TRT. Then indicates to this court that they've got a special name. Even refer them with the nickname Ama Beret. Should have said that. It's not physics.
Yinto ke oyikhulumile le kodwa uyikhulumele phansi usuqedile unikeza ngobufakazi kodwa wayisholo phansi ke wathi ama TRT okusho ukuthi banegama elithize noma gama thizeni ababizwa ngalo ungasho nokuthi amabhere.
Kose Katolo ngawuthi kuyinto eyi1 mangithi amaphoyisa noma ngingachazanga ukuthi uhlobo lwamaphoyisa amaphoyisa.
My Lord, I think it's the same thing. Although I did not specify which are police officers, police remain police officers.
Unless umuntu ongibuza imibuzo mayizothi angichaza ukuthi ihloboni amaphoyisa bese ngikwazi ukuthi ngichaze ukuthi amaphoyisa so.
Unless the cross-examiner then, my Lord, asks me to specify, then I will then specify.
That is your duty to specify this.
Kukwena ke njengoba umilana ukuthi kube wena ochazayo.
Engichaza yini Kose Katolo?
You said it was Mukhane, Mabena, Ngamane, Butelezi, Munaring, and traffic cops. Traffic cop, it's a specification. specifying now.
Uba
You did
bizile
not
wonke-
specify the TRTs.
Okay. Ubabizile onke lamagama wabizayo laphayana. Wase ufaka ke futhi nama traffic cops. Manje uma ufika ke kuma police uthi ama traffic, kusho ukuthi manje usho inhlobo ethize lo noma uhlobo oluthile lwamaphoyisa.
Ingoba because eKatoli bingibuza ukuthi kwakungobani labe babekhona
It's bec-
amagama abo.
It's because I was asked as to who was present or who were the people that were present, their names.
So let us go back now at First Loras, where the TRT or Amaberet present there.
Asibuyele ke manje eFosloras. Ama TRT lana noma laba ke bamabheret babekhona eFosloras.
Because eKatoli ngithe ngathi sabafika eAlbertine.
I said we found them in Albertine.
So when this instruction was carried out, did you inform your council that no, that is not the correct version of events?
Asibuyele lana ke kuloko bhale lana ke uyabona lana ne nanjengoba kushiwo ukuthi uMr Mgomezulu wathi uma esho kufakazi ukuthi ke eFosloras yila ashaywa khona ke eshaywa yilaba beTRT. Nkathi umuzwa ke ekusho lokho uhlezi khona laphayana uyakusho yena kusho kufakazi. Ingaba wamlungisa yini uthi cha wenza iphutha lapha akuzange kwenzeke kanjalo. Labantu laba ama-TRT babengekho eFosloras ngaba sabafice eAlbertine.
Because eKatoli ngangazi ukuthi mina la ebhokisini ngizoza ngifike ngicacise ukuthi uthi yenzakala kanjani.
I knew, my Lord, that I would come here and testify and explain as to how everything happened.
Njengoba namanje eKatoli ngiyitshela nje ukuthi kwama traffic cop ayekhona lapha eFosloras sahamba saye eAlbertine safica kukhona nama TRT.
As I'm saying that, it was the traffic cops or traffic officers that were there in Fosleres. And upon arrival in Albertine, then we found the TRT police.
You see now, Mr. Sibia, yesterday you were busy dodging my questions. No, I was waiting for the time to explain my case. Now you are there, you do not explain your case.
Yazi ke obukwenza ke izolo ukuthi nje uyibalekeleke imibuzo yami hayi ngilinde isikhathi sami ukuthi ngizochaza ke manje isikhathi sakho sifikileke sokuthi uchaze awuchazi.
Because eKatoli ngiyachaza namanje ngicela explain ukuchaza manje ukuthi yini ayikhona eFosloras yini engayifika eAlbertine.
I am explaining, my Lord. Even now I just explained as to who was in Fosleras and who was did I find in Albertine.
But you did not explain that during examination in chief by your defense counsel, sir.
Uchaza manje ke kodwa nkathi ke beku Mr Mgomezulu ebeke uyena ke bekhola ukuthi ke chaza ke ukuthi kwenzekani awuchazanga lokho usho ukuthi uchaza khona manje usinikiwe isikhathi ngathi ku Mr Mgomezulu okholayo ukuthi ke isho ukuthi kwenzekani awachaza lokho ukuchaza manje.
Mina ngibona ngathi ngichazile ngoba ngishilatha amaphoyisa. So my Lord inkosi eKatoli mayingibuza ukuthi kwakungobani sekumele lapho ngiyichazele kwakungobani nobani.
I think I did explain, my Lord, by saying that it was the police. But when I'm now requested or asked to explain or to say who those people were, that is when now I'm explaining or giving the names as to who they were.
It's fine, let's leave that point. Proceed. The members of the TRT that are present here in court today, do they scare you as well?
Sinabo ke nanamuhla la beTRT la enkantolo bayakusabisa nabo laba bakhona la enkantolo.
Ngangekhona eKatoli ngalesa sikhathi.
I was not in court at that time.
I'm talking about today, sir. Don't be smart with me.
Cha abangisabisi.
No, they are not scaring me.
Why?
Kungani?
Ngiphambi kweKatoli manje.
I'm in front of the court now, or I'm before the court now.
So at the police station, you're scared of them.
A police station Abasaba.
Ngiyabasaba epolice station.
Yes, I'm
Ngoba
scared
nga-
of them at the police station.
Ngoba
sorry.
ngakhetha ukuyejele. Ngoba epolice station bebenza noma yini.
Because I chose to go to prison because in the police station they would do whatever they want to do.
But that was before you make that election, sir.
Kodwa lokho kwakungaphambi kokuthi ke ukhethe.
Cela ungiphinde nombuzo wakho.
Can you repeat?
The time you made that choice to go to prison, it was before or it was after you have met the Amaberator there at Albertine.
Kathi ke wenza isinqumo noma ukhetha athi usucela ke ukhetha ukuthi awusiwejele kwakusemuva ke kokuthi uhlangene nala ama-TRT.
Sithi ngishawa amaphoyisa bengwesaba kakhulu leso sikhathi leso.
At the time, seeing that I was being assaulted by the police, I was scared of the police at the time.
Okay? But now you're no longer scared.
Awusabe manje.
ngihamba namaphoyisa asejele manje ngisawesabi lamaphoyisa ngoba ngeze ngenzela ukuthi kukhona amaphoyisa asejele.
Now I am traveling with the prison officials, so they won't do anything to me in the presence of the prison officials.
Ngiphambi kwecourt angeke eze ngenzela ukuthi uma ngiphambi kwecourt.
And I'm before the court, they won't do anything to me as I'm before the court.
So when you are before court, you feel free.
Ukhululekile uma uphambi kwenkantolo.
Ngiphephile nokuphepha.
I'm even safe.
Then there you are on the 1st of June 2020 in front of court. Do you feel safe?
Ngeyi-1 zikaJuni wawuphambi kwenkantolo wazizwa uphephile.
Lesikhathi ngisekatolo phakathi ngangiphephile mangiphumela ngaphandle ukuphepha kwami kwaphela.
When I was inside the court, I was safe. The moment I left the court, I was outside, then my safety wasn't guaranteed or wasn't there anymore.
So why did you not inform the court then that day I'm being assaulted? Because now I'm free before you magistrate. I'm being assaulted. Since you feel safe inside the court.
Nalike ithuba unalo sulitholileke manje uphephile usenkantolo ubingelela imanje ubusayitshela ke manje ukuthi angiphephile lana labantu laba bayangishaya.
Kusekatolo nayizolo ngishilo ngathi lo yalami ngalitshena ukuthi laba bantu bangishaya. Ngaphinde ngalitshena nange-10 ikaJuly ukuthi laba bantu bayaqhubeka bangishaya, so angisafuni ukuya ema-police station because bengisesivathini ngifuna ukuya ejele ngoba ejele ngeke bekhona uzongishaya noma isiphi isikhathi abathanda ngaso.
My Lord, I did mention it yesterday that I informed my legal representative that these people are assaulting me. I repeated that again on the 10th of July that I'm being assaulted, and I would like to go back to the police station, but I would like to go to prison because they won't do as they please.
So when you appeared for the first time, before this specific court, did you feel safe as well?
Nkathi uvela ke kokuqala kuleni inkantolo ke manje sikhulume ke inkantolo ke magistrate lana ke inkantolo ephakeme ke uma usubingelela ke umehlulelo kokuqala ke lana ke nalapho wazizwa uphephile. Sikhuluma ngale inkantolo manje sakhulume ke ngelowa court sikhuluma ngale uma uvela kokuqala lana wazizwa uphephile.
Bengizizwa ngiphephile so isikhathi mangisekatolo phakathi ngizizwa ngiphephile.
I felt safe each and every time I'm inside the court. I feel safe.
Okay, now let us proceed. I want to show you something on the screen.
Nakhona ke mfisa ukuthi ngikhombise kona lapha yana.
Do you see that photo? You can go closer there.
Ungasondela uma ukuthi awuboni kahle.
Ngiyabona.
I can see.
Who is that person?
Ubani loya?
Isithombe sami.
It's my picture.
Where was it taken?
Kwakukuphi nendawo?
Ilesikhathi sise-Albertine.
It's at the time when we were in Albertine.
Go to the next photo. Who took the photo?
Ubani owayethobela isithombe lesiya?
Angimkhumbuli isibongo sakhe.
I can't remember the surname.
Is that how you were dressed on that day as well?
Ogqoke ngale ndlela ngaleli langa.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even at the time when you were arrested at Vusimuzi section Tembisa, you were dressed like that.
Nangenkathi waboshwa ngayo eVusumuzi section eThembisa ogqoke kanje.
Cha.
No.
How were you after you changed? Were you dressed like that?
Emuva kokuthi usushintshile lokho ogqokile wagqoka kanje.
Yebo ngagqoka kanje sebengishintshisile.
Yes, after I had changed.
Even when you were kicked on the 30th, kicked on the 31st, then fast forward the 5th of June, you were still like that.
Nangenkathi ukhahlelwa ngeyi-30 ukhahlelwa ngeyi-31 bese siya phambili ke ngeyi-5 zikaJuni wawusagqoke ngale ndlela.
Angilokhu ngigqoke kanje yakho sekatolo ngakaze ngigeze nokugeza.
I was always dressed like that. I haven't even taken a bath.
But you can see the person depicted on that photo, the clothes are still neat.
Kuyabonakala siyabona ke okanye noma umuntu yabona ke ukuthi lapha yana impahla lena ke azingcolile njengale ndlela agqoke ngayo lapha yana.
Zingcolile lezi impahla.
Those clothes are dirty.
Okay. What made it close date?
Angcoliswa yini?
ngicela ukuthi angishitshi nokuthi ngibuye ngibhuquzise phansi.
That I hadn't changed, and also that I was on the ground.
Okay. And then who told you to stand like that in that photograph?
Kulesiya isithombe ubani wakutshela ukuthi ima ngaleya ndlela?
Uhadebe.
Sihadebe?
And then is that you there?
So wena lapha?
Isithombe sami.
That's my picture.
But you being there and still the same thing, say.
Yonke into ayenzeka lapha ya uhadebe wayengidirect ukuthi angenze kanjani.
Everything that was happening there, Hadebe was the one who was directing me as to how to go about doing it.
Do you know why did he embark on that exercise?
Uyazi ukuthi kwakuyini inhloso yokuthi akwenze lokho?
Akaze ngitshene wayethi nje bheka le lo shuthayo ashuthe ethi bheka le lo shuthayo ashuthe. Akaze ngitshene kungani ethi angigumule.
He never told me, my lord. He would just say, face that side. The person taking the photo would then do that. Look that side. The person would then do that, my lord. He never even told me as to why I had to take off my clothes.
From your observation of that photo, will you say that person appearing there was injured in any way?
Uma ubhekile ubuka lesiya sithombe lesiyana, ubona loya muntu olapha kulesiya sithombe, ungasho ukuthi khona indlela loya muntu loya alimele ngayo.
Kusekato ngeke ngikwazi ukukhomenta ngesithombe.
My lord,
Mhlawumbe uhadebe wayefuna ukubona lento ayifuna ukuyibona wayezokwazi ukuyibona.
My lord, I'm unable to comment on a photo. If Hadebe wanted to see whatever it is that he wanted to see, he would have been able to see it.
But do you see any abnormalities there?
Ukhona ongahambi ngendlela ongahambi kahle ukubonayo wena lapha kulesiya sithombe.
Kusekato mina ngikhuluma ngesithombe ngikhuluma ukuthi ngoba lento ayenzeka kimi kwakukuningi kakhulu kwangahambi kahle.
My lord, I'm not speaking about a photo because I know what happened to me. A lot, my lord. There was a lot of abnormalities.
But that gene there doesn't seem dirty, say.
Kodwa leya jini leyana uma ubhekile lapha yana akukho kusho ukuthi leya jini abukeki ingcolile.
Kusekato noma ungangishutha ngefoto ngecamera manje mina ngoba ngimnyama nje uzongibona ngathi ngimhlophe.
Even if we were to take a picture or a photo of me now, my lord, using a camera, as dark as I am, I would appear light, my lord.
You mean a color camera?
Usho ye color
Color
eyombala.
photo.
Yenza ithi ikhanye kakhulu kunalokho eyikho noma kuthiwa
Not black and white, color.
It makes something to be much lighter, my lord, even if it's dark.
You see.
On your wrist there, are there any marks or swelling on that particular photograph?
Kulesiya sithombe lesiyana la ezandleni kukhona amamark akhona noma ke ukuvuvuka okubonakalayo kulesiya sithombe.
Kusekato la ngikhuluma ngesithombe nawo amamaka.
I'm not talking about a photo, my lord. Here are the marks. The witness is pointing to his wrist, his right hand, as well as the left hand.
Those marks, did you show them to your defense counsel?
Lama mark la oqeda uwakhomba manje ke ngaba umeli wakho wamtshengisa.
Yebo ngambonisa.
Yes, I did.
And then was it not something that Mboto was supposed to comment about when he took the stand?
Kwangase
I'm sorry to interject. There's evidence that Colonel Mboto saw those marks and the swelling part of the. So it's not an evidence that is created by this witness. It's evidence emanating from the colonel who took the alleged confession.
Yes, Mr. Subanda.
Please, my lord, I thought it would be fair for a witness like Mboto to have commented, to say, yes, these are the marks that I saw in the date in question, and they indeed still visible on that position in relation to his hand.
Was Mboto shown that photo?
No, Mboto was never shown this photo, my lord.
Who was shown that photo? Hadebe.
Hadebe.
Okay, maybe you can comment through Hadebe's remarks.
Can we proceed, my lord? The fact that you had injuries on your wrist, did you inform Colonel Hadebe?
ukuthi wawulimeleke lana unama marks unokuvuvuka onako la kuwena ke ezandleni wamtshela uHadebe ngalokho.
akaze sengibuza uHadebe ngokushawa kwami ukuthi ngilimele kuphi
Ah,
because
Had-
uHadebe wayengahambisani nami wayengekho esayidini lami wayefana namaphoyisa nawo angihlukumezile.
Hadebe never asked me about any assault, whether I was injured and where and how. My lord, Hadebe was just against me. Hadebe was siding together with the police that had abused me.
And that is Mkhane, Ngamane, Buthelezi, and others.
La maphoyisa awabalayo manje, ukuthi wayesayida nawo la awabalayo manje.
But amaphoyisa from Bushongwe did.
I'm referring to the
Amaphoyisa okangihlukumeze kakhulu.
I'm referring to the police since my arrest on the 30th. All those police abused me very much so.
And then, did you go out with Colonel Hadebe at some stage?
Ingabe sikhona yini isikhathi la owaphuma khona noma wahamba khona uhamba naye uKenel Hadebe?
Yeah,
Yes.
Where did you go?
Naya kuphi?
akumazi ukuthi wayengisa kuphi.
I don't know where he was taking me to.
How did you travel?
Ngihamba kanjani?
Angazi ukuthi sasihamba kanjani ngoba uyo wayazi ukuthi ungisa kuphi.
I don't know how we traveled because he's the one who knew where he was taking me to.
Were you walking on foot?
Nanihamba ngeenyawo,
Were you in a vehicle?
nanisemotweni,
Were you in a flight?
nandiza.
Ngisho sesisemotweni mayiqeda ukungishuthisa lezi ithombe lezi athe ikhomba la.
Nanisemotweni.
Sasihamba ngemoto.
We were traveling in a vehicle. When a vehicle, after these pictures that were shown here were taken,
And then, what type of a vehicle was it?
kwakuyimoto enjani?
Angisayikhumbuli kodwa ngoba ithombe zakhona bangishuthisa ngise eduze kwayimoto. Mhlawumbe uma ngingavela ngingakhumbula ukuthi iyo le.
I can't remember, but because the photos that were taken with me next to a vehicle, if those I can be shown those photos, then I'll be able to remember.
Okay. Was it a buggy or a sedan or a hatchback?
Sikhuluma lana ngebhaki ke, mhlambe nje ibhaki, imoto ekuyisedan noma ke sikhuluma ngemoto a hatchback. Isedan imoto sikhuluma ngemoto nje enecaphe eziwu4, i-hatchback angithi yile ekanjeni. Bese sikhuluma ngemoto ke enkulu le kuthiwa i-sedan.
Imoto lapha kwangaba yi-private mare enesinqa.
It would be like a sedan, my lord. It refer to a private vehicle, but a sedan.
Okay. Where were you seated inside the vehicle?
Phakathi kuleyo moto leyo wawuhlezi kuphi nendawo wena?
Angisakhumbula ukuthi ngangihleli kuliphi side kwa left noma right kodwa ngihleli ngemuva.
I can't remember which side I was seated, whether at the right hand side or left side, but it was at the back.
And then who was the driver of the vehicle?
Yayishayelwa ubani leyo moto leyo?
Angisasikhumbula isibongo sika driver.
I can't remember the driver's surname, my lord.
And then where was Colonel Hadebe seated inside the vehicle?
uKenel Hadebe wayehlezi kuphi nendawo yena emotweni?
Wayehleli ngaphambili.
In front, my lord.
And then where did you go from
Nase niya
Alberton?
kuphi ke?
Uthe angazi babe ngisakuphi.
I said-
UHadebe wazi.
I said I don't know where they took me to. Hadebe is the one who knows or who knew.
So, according to the evidence of Colonel Hadebe, you are the one who gave the driver instructions.
Ngokusho kwakhe noma ngobufakazi bakhe uKenel Hadebe wena owawutshela umshayeli ukuthi akaye kuphi noma ahambe kanjani.
Cha, angaze ngitshela umshayeli ehambe kanjani.
No, I've never instructed the driver how to drive or
You also
travel.
made a request that should you be taken to the entrance of Oslo Rats, then you'll be able to point a certain point or direction.
Wase futhi unesicelo osenzayo ukuthi uma nje ungathathwa bakufikiseke noma kufikweke la engenwa khona uma ungenwa eFosloras. Ukusuka lapho ke wena usungabatshengisaka ke manje ukuthi akiwe kuphi nendawo.
Cha, angaze ngize ngisho lento leyo.
No, I never said that.
And then the places that you were taken to, are you familiar with that place?
Indawo lezi owathathwa wasiwa kuzona indawo ozaziyo?
Cha, angizazi.
No, I'm not familiar with them.
Not at all.
Kanhlobo nje.
May my colleague be specific, my lord, which areas is he referring to?
What's that, sir?
Sorry.
You're saying what should be specific?
The areas that you said he was taken to.
Who must be specific?
My colleague.
How would you know that?
Because
There's no evidence to that effect in this court.
there's evidence that
Unless you want to tell me obviously he did, he read the confession and he read the pointing outs, but this court is not aware of any direction.
my lord I'm referring to the evidence of Colonel Khatebe. He said, according to his evidence, the witness must take them to the entrance
Yes,
of Osloras.
Yes.
So my colleague must specify, because when I converse with Colonel Khatebe as to which
entrance.
he talk about a shopping center. He never talk about mainly the entrance.
So
he said,
when you
if
say
you take us
entrance
to-
of Force Loras, it's not specific enough.
especially when he said a shopping center.
Yes,
He was
Mr.
specific there.
David. Yes, let's hear you. They say you must be more specific.
But that is the evidence that requires to be taken to an entrance of Fosloras. I don't know. But my lord, I'm being told how to ask this witness.
Yeah, continue. You don't recall the saying the entrance of Force Loras is a shopping center.
But that's not the angle I want to take. The
Okay,
defense will
yeah,
come
fine,
first.
okay.
Did you make such a request?
Isicelo esinjalo wasenza?
Cha,
No,
asikho isicelo engasenza uKhatebe.
there's no request I made to Khatebe.
And from Fosloras, then you give instructions to a certain point.
Ukusuka ke khona lapho ke manje sekufikiwe ke kuyona ke entrance leyo Fortress wase manje usho ke ukuthi akiwe endaweni ethize.
Cha, angaze ngize ngisho lutho.
No, I never said anything.
Trying to find somewhere in the record. Say, are you familiar with Fosloras Hostel?
I-hostel yase-Fortress uyayazi?
Yebo ngiyayazi.
Yes, I am.
Were you taken there?
Wasiwa lapho?
Angikhumbuli.
I don't recall.
I can't find the relevant portion on the record wherein it was put to the witness that you were taken to that particular place on the 5th of June 2020.
Uthi akayitholi ke le ndawo ke la ekushoyo khona ke ukuthi wasiwa ke endaweni ethize ngalelo langa lelo. Uyayibheka akayiboni kwamanje.
So what is the assertion? You say you can't recall? The assertion you say you can't recall.
I'm saying that Advocate Mgomezulu did put to the witnesses that at some stage on that day of the pointing out, the witness was taken to Fosloras Hostel, Basutwin Hostel. And the witness indicates to the court that he does not recall being taken there.
Oh, okay. You can put it. You can check it afterwards.
Is
Me,
what the
you, and
comment?
the other counsels. You're saying Mr. Mgomezulu put it
Yes,
to the Khadebe, the kennel.
to Hadebe, yes. I can find it, my lord, if I can there, but I printed it out.
How can you forget 2 lines? I mean, sorry. Yahleka, Mr. Mnis. Means you are laughing. Okay. So what do we do now?
No, my lord, if I can be allowed to continue, I will find that relevant portion. I did. put it-
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
No, we'll adjourn after he answers the question.
Okay.
It was put to Hadebe that you were taken to Fosloras Hostel, also known as Basotho Hostel, on that day.
Ummeli wakho okuyena ke uMr Mgomezulu washo ke kuyena uKhedel Khatebe ukuthi ngalelo langa lelo ke oyokhomba ngalo ke wathathwa ke wasiwa ehostel iBasuthu hostel eFortress.
Esekatolo ngoba na izolo ngishilo ngathi abendawo abangisa kuzo angizazi bangithatha bangibuyisele emuva. So indaba bengikhombisa zona angizazi.
As I said yesterday, my lord, that the places that I was taken to, I'm not familiar with. So I was taken, after that, my lord, I was taken back. So I'm not familiar with those places.
And in that evidence, you further testified that you are familiar with that place because you once resided there.
Okunye futhi ke okushilo ukuthi ke indawo leyo ke uyayazi ngoba wake wahlala khona lapho.
So I just want to establish for my colleague whether it's that what I put to Colonel Khate for verification purpose.
You know, it's already late in the day, maybe then again I will show my colleague that relevant portion, just that it's got mixed up with my other documents here. I'll proceed from that point tomorrow.
What's your time now?
23 minutes past 3.
You want us to adjourn?
Yes.
Okay, saying you must adjourn. Tomorrow, 10 o'clock then.
Qhubeka kusasa ke ngo-10.